What's up, Talksy crew? Get ready for some explosive wrestling news that's got everyone talking. We're kicking things off with Lola Vice as she gears up for a massive NXT No Mercy title match, calling it her WrestleMania moment. Next up, we're pulling back the curtain on wrestling legend Shawn Michaels, who's sharing his unfiltered thoughts on his 2019 return match in Saudi Arabia and why it doesn't define his career legacy. Then, we're diving into the emotional depths of WrestleMania 24, as Shawn Michaels reflects on Ric Flair's deeply personal retirement match and the real feelings behind that iconic night. And finally, we've got Bryan Danielson revealing a fascinating behind-the-scenes connection between his favorite WWE WrestleMania moment and a key writer now making waves in AEW. Stick around, you won't want to miss any of this. Smash that like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Lola Vice's WrestleMania moment is here. This is it, folks. Lola Vice is standing on the precipice of her biggest career opportunity, aiming to seize the NXT Women's Championship at NXT No Mercy against Jacy Jayne. This isn't just another match for Vice. She's openly declared it her WrestleMania moment, especially with the bout taking place in her hometown of Miami. It's her third shot at the title, and she's never felt more ready, despite the formidable challenge posed by champion Jacy Jayne and the ever-present threat of Jayne's stable, fatal influence, featuring Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix. Vice has already proven she can handle them, but having them at ringside adds a layer of complexity she's keenly aware of. Having recently inked a new contract, Lola Vice feels the stars are aligning. She's not just facing Jacy Jayne, she's facing the legacy of the title and the potential for a fairytale ending in front of her friends and family. The pressure is immense, but so is her confidence. Can she overcome the odds, the champion, and the lingering presence of fatal influence to finally bring the NXT Women's Championship home to Miami? The wrestling world is watching to see if this dream becomes a reality. But before we dive deeper into Lola Vice's quest for glory, get ready for some incredible insights into the career of a true legend. We're about to explore Shawn Michaels' candid reflections on a match that many thought was his final bow. Don't go anywhere, because the story of career-defining moments is far from over. Next, we're hearing directly from Shawn Michaels about a specific in-ring return that he says had zero impact on his legacy. Shawn Michaels, the Saudi Arabia match doesn't have an effect on me. WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels is setting the record straight about his 2019 return to the ring at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Despite stepping out of retirement for a tag team match alongside Triple H as D-Generation X against the Brothers of Destruction, Michaels adamantly states that this bout does not alter his perception of his career's true ending. For him, the definitive farewell remains his iconic WrestleMania 26 clash with The Undertaker. He explained on Insight with Chris Van Vliet that the Saudi Arabia match was a separate event, a special, separate one-off that felt more like a casual reunion with friends than a defining performance of the Heartbreak Kid. He sharply distinguishes between HBK, Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper, who officially retired, and the dude hanging out with his buddies in the tag match. This perspective underscores the profound significance Michaels places on his WrestleMania 26 exit, a moment meticulously built and emotionally charged, which he considers the genuine conclusion to his legendary in-ring career. Fans and critics alike often debate the impact of post-retirement matches, but for Michaels, the emotional weight and narrative closure of his WrestleMania 26 send-off remain paramount. His current role as Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative for WWE shows his enduring influence behind the scenes, shaping the future of the company he helped define. What happens when legendary performers reflect on their most emotional send-offs? The answer might surprise you. Stay tuned as we revisit another iconic retirement match, this time with a deeper look at the raw emotion involved. Next, we're going inside Shawn Michaels' memories of Ric Flair's WrestleMania 24 retirement bout and the surprising reality of that night's feelings. It was real. Shawn Michaels on Ric Flair's emotional WrestleMania farewell. Shawn Michaels is opening up about one of the most poignant matches of his career, his WrestleMania 24 showdown against Ric Flair. In a candid interview with Chris Van Vliet, Michaels shared the intimate details of how the match's emotionally charged finish came to him just days before the event, describing it as a flow of consciousness that felt like a movie scene, complete with teardrops on his notes. He vividly recalls the overwhelming emotion Flair displayed throughout the match, particularly during the closing moments, knowing it was the end of an era for the wrestling icon. Michaels emphasized that, despite Flair's subsequent wrestling appearances for TNA, the emotion displayed that night at WrestleMania was undeniably real and deeply felt by everyone involved, including the fans who were completely invested in the moment. This reflection highlights the profound impact of that WrestleMania 24 match, not just as a wrestling contest, but as a genuine, emotional farewell. While Flair would go on to wrestle more matches, the memory of his WWE retirement remains a powerful testament to the connection between performers and their audience, and the very real emotions that can unfold in the squared circle. It's a moment that continues to resonate in wrestling history. But what about the moments that shape careers behind the scenes? Even legendary matches have their secret architects. Prepare for a surprising connection that bridges WWE's past with a rival promotion's present. Next, we're uncovering Bryan Danielson's favorite WrestleMania memory and a key creative mind who's now making moves in AEW. Bryan Danielson, the AEW writer behind my favorite WWE WrestleMania moment. Bryan Danielson is shedding light on the creative forces behind his most memorable WWE moments, revealing a surprising connection to AEW. During an interview with Ned and Josh, Danielson reminisced about his Planet's Champion gimmick and singled out writer Robert Evans, whom he loves, as instrumental in crafting that character. The twist: Evans is now a writer for AEW. Danielson humorously added that his portrayal of the most irritating people on the planet, vegans, was a key element that fueled the gimmick. Looking back at his WrestleMania appearances, Danielson bypasses WrestleMania 30, citing past pain, and even WrestleMania 37, to pinpoint his absolute favorite Mania moment at WrestleMania 35. He describes wrestling Kofi Kingston in that match as so awesome, made even more special by his daughter being backstage. The added bonus: losing meant he could go home and rest instead of doing media appearances. This revelation not only highlights the fluid nature of creative talent moving between major wrestling promotions, but also underscores the personal significance Danielson places on moments shared with family and the simple joy of a well-earned rest. It's a reminder that behind the larger-than-life characters and epic battles, there are intricate creative processes and deeply personal experiences that shape wrestling history. We've covered championship aspirations, career reflections, and backstage secrets. Now, let's quickly recap the biggest stories of the day. Don't change that dial. We're about to hit you with a rapid-fire recap of all the top stories. Next, we're wrapping it all up with a lightning round rundown and your final call to action. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. We saw Lola aiming for NXT glory, Shawn Michaels distancing himself from his Saudi Arabia match, the real emotions behind Ric Flair's WrestleMania farewell, and Bryan Danielson's AEW-linked favorite Mania moment. Don't miss out on any of the action. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Talksy for more exclusive wrestling news and breakdowns, and ring that bell to get notified the second we drop new videos. Let us know your thoughts on these stories in the comments below, and be sure to follow us on all social media platforms for behind-the-scenes content and live updates. We'll see you next time.